and welcome back to Date with the Divas. We have some very hot topics to discuss with you to go along with this weather. So, if you haven't subscribed, come on, you know what to do. Click on that subscribe button and don't forget to like our videos. Also, click on that bell for instant notifications of our newest videos. And please grab your drink and let's get cool. Marnita, please get us started.
All right, Divas, got a couple hot topics for y'all. It's a small group, but it's going to be a hot conversation. So let's get into it. My sources for my first story are TMZ.com and TMZsports.com. So anybody remember the movie or the book, The Blind Side?
Yep.
So Blind Side film came out in 2009. The book, it was based on the book that came out in 2007. And that book was based on the story of a young man named Michael Oher, who was a young Black teenager. He found himself homeless. At about the age of 16, he was taken in by a white evangelical family that treated him like family and eventually adopted him. He went off to be an NFL player. Nice feel-good story, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? So I don't know if y'all have heard, but the real life Michael Oher, he is currently 37. He is now an ex-NFL player. He is claiming that
He's
family
only
lied
37?
to him. Yes, he's only 37.
That movie was like 10,000 years ago.
Oh, come on, Joe. We're not that old.
Yeah, okay, my bad. That was like 2 years ago. Okay, cool.
But yeah, so he's 37. He's no longer in the NFL, and he claims that family lied to him, that they never adopted him, and they have screwed him out of potentially millions of dollars. So there is a picture of Michael with who he thought were his adopted parents. It's Sean Tooley and Leanne Tooley are their names. Mm-hmm. So Michael has filed a petition claiming that the couple exploited him for their own benefit after realizing that he was a gullible young man. He says that the family presented him with papers that he believed he needed to sign to begin the adoption process. Mm-hmm. But in February 2023, he learned that the paperwork was actually a petition to appoint them as his conservators, allowing the Tooleys to have total control over Michael Oher's ability to negotiate for or enter into any contracts, despite the fact that he was 18 and that he had no physical or psychological disabilities. He also claims that the conservatorship allowed the Tooleys to negotiate a deal with Fox for the film The Blind Side. And Michael Oher claims that they got $2,250,000 plus 2.5 of all future defined net proceeds. He says that this went to the couple and their kids, not him, not Michael.
Okay, so I already got questions.
But
me too.
Now let me tell you what the father's response was, and then we'll get into the conversation. So the father, or the man of the family, Sean Tooley, says he never tricked Oher into a conservatorship. Mm-hmm. He says that this fiasco happened because the NCAA told Michael Oher that if he wanted to go to Ole Miss, which is the college that he went to, that he'd have to be considered part of the family because the Tooleys were a booster at the school. Okay. So the couple said that they talked to their lawyer, and because Michael was already 18 at the time, they couldn't adopt him, and that the only way to make him part of the family was to do a conservatorship. So Tooley says that he sat Michael down and said, if you're planning to go to Ole Miss, we think you should be part of the family, and these papers would do that. Tooley also claims.
Okay, so
this just sounds wonky already, but I'm just listening. Okay, we're gonna continue.
Yo, this is hot, y'all.
Yes. So Tooley also claims that first he said that the family didn't make any money off the movie. Then I guess he kind of backpedaled and said that the author of the book split his earnings from the movie with the family. And Michael Tooley says that came out to about $14,000 each, including Michael. So everybody in the family, daughter, son, Michael, wife, husband, got $14,000. And Tooley says that he was not short on money. He didn't need any cash, that he had a fast food franchise that he had sold back in the day for over $200 million.
So then why'd you take your cut of the 14?
Exactly. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, no. So, and it's interesting because in the article, they also said, Tooley said that he would end the conservatorship if Michael wanted. So it sounds like this conservatorship is still
going on.
Then so that happened at 18 and he's 37 and it's still going on. So Divas, thank you for waiting, but let's jump into it.
I'm lost and
I'm not understanding, because if he said, meaning the father of the family, he said, if you want to be part of the family, sign this. So he said that.
Right.
And at the time, he was 18, meaning
Michael Oher was 18.
Was 18. So if that's how it happened, I can understand him
feeling
misunderstanding and saying, oh, they want to adopt me because you said part of the family. You
exactly
minced your words to this young man.
And why wouldn't you in this whole time? He's now 37. You never explained. Like, I get it if you say, oh, we tried to explain it then and he didn't understand, which I think he would.
Yes.
But, you have it come back and say, hey, you know what? Let's revise that paperwork if you really have his best interest at heart.
And then another part of me is like, the word conservatorship never came up in this whole time for him to be like, what exactly?
But also, to tag on to you, Joe, I'm not trying to put all the onus on the family. You as an adult, like, now as time is passing, I'm just trying to figure out, when do you wake up and open your eyes and become,
like Spike Lee said, wake up.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, because it's like, if they have conservatorship over all of the deals that he could potentially make, so you never walked into a negotiation table and been told you don't have the power to make this decision and question that?
Well,
I'm lost.
Go ahead,
Michelle.
Well, what I was going to say was that in the movie, they say adopt. The whole thing is that this young man that grew up in poverty, he becomes part of this family informally, and then formally after, they adopt him. So even the movie implies that he was adopted.
Right.
And then I heard sort of in passing that the younger son,
right,
SJ, I guess, in the movie, he was interviewed about what was going on with Michael, and he said, I'm surprised that it took this long for this lawsuit to happen. Ooh. So he sounds like he's coming down on the side of Michael Oher and not on the side of his parents, which to me very interesting.
Yeah, that's,
and I find it
your own kid against
too,
you.
that if you're saying they each got 14,000 each, how is it equal? This is my
Right.
Thank you.
I was thinking that too. I was like, wait.
And why is it every single person?
Gibson.
Like anything that adopted parents.
Nobody would have made this movie if it wasn't for me and my rise.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm trying to understand. Okay, I get it. You guys had your little sprinkle in the movie, but how we getting equal shares? I'm thinking like I get 50 and y'all sprinkle y'all separate.
I'll figure it out the rest.
Whatever.
Right.
But how are we getting equal shares? Like this is all of our stories.
And
because they're suffering from savior complex. They saved this young man.
Oh, Captain Save a Ho. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
So they need to,
they need to be compensated.
Yes, they need to be compensated because they saved this young man.
Oh my gosh.
And then, okay, so when the money came, did he not?
Thank you.
Wonder where and okay, I only got 14. That's it? Like I don't understand. This is just like the Lizzo story. What I need more.
Well, I need more. And my next thing is like, so in the movie, and this is no disrespect to Michael Oher, in the movie, they made it seem like he was kind of slow.
You know what? I'm thinking that now too. I remember I have seen the movie, but now I'm thinking I was like, maybe that is a factor.
Right.
And
I could see him not reading the paperwork at that time because these are people that you feel like are your parents and that you could trust. But in almost 20 years, never noticed that something was going on. So, I wonder who came to him and was like, look, man, this is wrong.
Like you said, in those 20 years, you've never been to a negotiating table for when you was in football, like.
Right.
Exactly. Because your contract didn't stay the same throughout your whole professional career.
So you had to go to your parents for everything.
And I'm like I said, is there a little bit of a delay?
Right.
And I'm wondering, there's nothing wrong, but I'm just saying, is there a delay and is there a reason why that this took so long?
Michelle,
I think so, but go ahead, Michelle.
What I was going to say is, I would like to know what the catalyst was that woke him up.
Right.
Because obviously something had to have happened that made him go back to figure out what happened.
He's not playing football no more. He
got a lot of time on his hands.
Right.
My bank account only got 10,000.
But okay,
I want to get a house and I can't get a house.
Exactly.
Without my mommy's permission.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears couldn't get married.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you also have to take into account that I'm going by, I don't know much about the Tuohys, but I'm going by The Blind Side, the movie.
Right.
They made him out to be this like great businessman, right? So he had to have some knowledge on how to deal with negotiations and contracts and things like that. So I can see a young man who's not very savvy in the business world, who now
being like, I'm going to let my dad take care of it. That makes more sense. That does shed a light on it. So maybe he met like a woman or something that he wanted to get with, and she was like,
purchase.
Marnita, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
He needed a major purchase of something, and then they were like,
nope. And somebody broke it down to him like, no, these people own you. They're not your parents. Not that they own
and
you.
I'm thinking truly it was a woman.
Yeah.
They trying to go on with their lives, and she's like, boo. Boo.
Okay, one more question for y'all. So, because we keep talking about the movie, Twitter thinks that what's her name? God, what's her name? Sandra Bullock should lose her Oscar for the movie. I think we have a picture of Sandra Bullock, but do y'all think she should lose her Oscar?
No.
She was
I think that's ridiculous. She played a part. Movies aren't real.
She played the part that was represented to her. She probably got represented with those same papers.
Exactly. Movies are not real. But I thought that was a good topic to get into. I appreciate the lively debate. Viewers, jump in. Tell us what you think of this whole debacle ordeal, and Yeah, let us know. We got another diva signing on, and it's Alicia. Are you there?
Yes. Hey, everyone. Whoop, whoop.
All right,
Alicia
is just in time for the second story.
Okay. Wait a minute, y'all must have talked about long time. Second story.
Oh, girl, you know we don't start on
time. For.
It was hot, girl. It was hot.
Okay.
Look, I got my fan going. It was hot.
Yes. So my source for the second story is again tmc.com. All right, y'all. We've talked about this man before. We gonna talk about him again. Mr. Tyrese. Tyrese is suing Home Depot stores for $1 million. Have y'all heard about this?
No.
Okay, well, let me get into it. So Tyrese feels that he and two gentlemen that work for him or with him, as he says, his designers who are Hispanic, he feels that the store racially profiled them and treated them unfairly. So this happened back in February, but I think Tyrese is just now filing the lawsuit. TMZ caught him in the airport and asked him about it. He said he hates to sue Home Depot because that's like his Disneyland. He loves it. But so this is what happened from what I can gather. These are two videos that Tyrese posted himself. He says that he was at the store with his two designers. It was over here in West Hills, California, but he was at the store. Tyrese says that the public started to notice him, so he became uncomfortable and he left the store, but he told this one sales associate, hey, those are my guys. They have my credit card. They're going to finish this transaction. And he left the store. So first video shows the gentlemen that were working with Tyrese, the two designers, they go up to a different cashier, not the cashier that Tyrese talked to, and I'm not sure what the circumstances were there, but they go up to this young woman here, and I guess they try to pay for the transaction with his credit card. She asked for ID. They don't have an ID that says Tyrese Gibson because they are not Tyrese Gibson. So they FaceTime him. And she calls her manager and is just kind of telling her manager, hey, these gentlemen are trying to pay with a credit card. The customer is not here. I don't have ID. So there's like some going back and forth. The manager's asking like, oh, does the customer have a pro account? Tyrese is just kind of, I feel like he's being unreasonable. He's just like talking to the girl, hey man, like, you know, I am the ID, this, I'm right here, blah, blah, blah.
Why didn't you just walk back in?
Exactly. So now I'm looking at the FaceTime. It looked like he was already home. So I guess because he said he lives like 3 minutes away from that Home Depot. I'm like, oh, thanks for telling us where you live, Tyrese. Yeah, right. But anyway, so it looked like he was already at home. I guess he had somebody take him home. But yeah, so he's up here arguing with the woman. He's asking her for her last name. She refuses to give it. She's like, you know, I don't need to give you that information, sir. So then he's like, okay, bye, Karen, you're Karen, and blah, blah, blah. He's like calling her Karen. So then the FaceTime shows that his guy goes outside. Tyrese is like, what time does the store close? I'll come back up there and meet you guys. So next video is Tyrese. He's talking to the manager. He's talking to the cashier. And I guess the first cashier that was involved that he told, let these gentlemen use my credit card. So Tyrese is arguing, and his argument just seems ridiculous to me. He's like, well, the first cashier, let me get this straight. Tyrese says he picked up 2 candy bars, had the first cashier scan them, but didn't swipe his card and told the guy, okay, these guys are going to finish the transaction and use my credit card. So he left with the candy bars unpaid for. They were to be paid for with the rest of the transaction. And Tyrese is upset that this other cashier asked for ID. So he's like, well, what's the policy and why isn't it consistent? Why is she asking for ID, but he didn't ask for ID? Why did he let me walk out with two candy bars that weren't paid for? And the manager's like, I didn't know all this. So Tyrese is also bragging or trying to threaten them, saying like, my neighbor in Atlanta is the CEO of Home Depot. I'm going to call him and report you guys. So I'm guessing that didn't work out because now he's suing for $1 million and saying he's going to shop somewhere else like Lowe's. But tell me what y'all think. As consumers, I used to work retail. I don't know if anybody else used to work retail.
Hello?
The transaction.
You are not supposed to give your credit card to not a darn person.
Yeah. Okay. And
making a purchase.
So I get you. How much was the purchase? That's what I want to know.
You know what? They didn't say, but I'm guessing that it was expensive if she asked for
ID.
Taking
it to the law. We're not talking about technicalities and little to the law. Your card is your card. You are not supposed to be giving it to nobody and say, here, use it, and I'm on the side and da. You should not be doing that. So I'm sorry.
And it's 2023. You could order the stuff online, pay with your card online, pull up, and they will put it in your car.
Hello.
I'm thinking like sometimes for the most part, did they make such a big deal of it? Because no disrespect, how many times have I gone to a store and used my mother's card because she told me to, and I just like, hey, here we go, and keep it moving. You know, I'm not doing anything fraudulent or whatever the case may have you, but I'm really trying to think, what was the red flag for them to be like, oh,
my only thought is like, okay, he gave his card to 2 Hispanic males, and they probably didn't look like a Tyrese Gibson, you know, so maybe she was. And I don't know if this cashier was new. I don't know if, like Joe said, the policy everywhere. Like,
exactly.
Yes, we have all used other people's cards. And Tyrese was like, well, I haven't been to this store in 6 years. I always send them, and there's never been a problem. But it's like, that's the exception. That's the exception. Like,
you should have been happy because what if,
you know, when you go in to do whatever you're doing, you give them your card or whatever. Maybe it's like, okay, take my card, make a payment. Exactly. Now you're making a big show, and they're like, okay, now you got me on blast. I gotta follow the rules. You put the first cashier on blast because you're sitting here giving a speech that he rang stuff up for you and you didn't pay and you left with it. So dude probably lost his job over those 2 candy bars. Homegirl, I don't know if she still worked there now. Like I said, this was back in February, but I'm just like, I don't feel like she did anything wrong.
It's not that serious.
Like, all you have to do is be like, okay, put the stuff to the side. I'm going to come swipe the card. I'm going to come with my ID, whatever. Like in the video, he's saying like, I left the store because I don't like attention. People were starting to notice me. But you're sitting here giving a speech about this. And then he ends up telling this woman like, oh, you know, you didn't apologize. You are so racist. But Alicia, Michelle, go ahead and jump in. We don't want to monopolize conversation.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the premise or the cause of action of his suit has to do with race and ethnicity, national origin. I don't see how any of that plays into what happened.
Thank you.
Because they should be checking ID. Because imagine if it were the flip, someone stole his card, unbeknownst to him. He shows up at the Home Depot because they know Tyrese goes to the Home Depot and sends other people. And, you know, heaven forbid they spend thousands of dollars and they let it through. Tyrese would be like, why did you do that?
Exactly.
And who cares? I don't think if it was Juan, Jose, Bonquisha, Jin, Tunde, who cares? If they don't look like Tyrese and it got flagged, you should be happy that someone is looking out for your best interest to make sure that it's like, stop.
Yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say, I don't see how come he just didn't wait an extra 5 to 10 minutes to check out. He was already at the checkout line with the candy bars. Wait for him to scan the rest of your stuff. Like, you're already there.
Go to the car. Yeah, it just, again, like Joe says, it's not adding up, sir. It's just not adding up. Like, you could have came back, just been like, oh, my bad, won't do it again. I don't know, get the dudes their own card, something. Like,
it's like them as an authorized user.
Even if that person was trying to do like you a solid, they couldn't, because you're supposed to, for example, you're in the line of 15 items and you're shouting, I got 17 items, come on, come with more. How I'm supposed to slide this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a big scene, like, come on, yo.
Yeah. Like, sir, you just, and I'm like, okay, I'm asking the CEO, your neighbor, the CEO, couldn't help because now you're suing Home Depot. Like, I don't know what he expected.
Oh, your neighbor, the Atlanta neighbor, was probably like, son, are you stupid?
You probably don't even really know him like that. That's probably the kicker. He probably only says hi and bye to him, and Tyrese is taking that as a full friendship. Okay.
Probably ain't even the CEO.
Well, I don't know about you guys.
Store.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but I never sign the back of my credit cards. I always write, please see ID.
D. Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Tyrese must be signing so people can copy his signature in the back of his credit card.
I'm sure a lot of celebrities tend to do that. Maybe, I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean, they do have assistants and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah.
But most people have assistants that are doing the shopping for them or whatever the case may have, but they probably don't make big scenes.
There you go.
Exactly. Like, all you had to do was come back. Like, you are just putting so much unnecessary attention on the store, on this salesperson, calling her names and saying that it was racial. It wasn't. And I know that stuff goes on. So I'm not saying that doesn't go on. And maybe that could be your first thought. But maybe once you got up there and been like, oh, okay, maybe this person just doesn't want to lose their job. Who knows? She could have been reprimanded the day before about something, make sure you follow the policy. You never know what's going on with these stores. And like I said, poor dude who gave the candy bars. I'm sure, Tyrese done blasted him and probably told the CEO, oh, he gave me 2 candy bars, and poor
what
dude.
Was your previous job?
Exactly.
Why were you fired? 2 candy bars.
I was a dude to get the candy bars at
Tyrese.
Yeah.
Oh man, Tyrese, get it together. Maybe I'll see you around the West Hill Shopping Center.
Catch you at Walmart.
Exactly.
And I was thinking to myself, isn't Home Depot probably like a franchise? Like, what is one owner in Atlanta got to do with one in LA? Like, what the?
I don't know if it's a franchise.
Owner, right? He said he was going to the owner, right?
He said he was going to the CEO.
The CEO.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
CEO.
He said he was going to the CEO. I don't know if it's a franchise or not, but like I said, who knows? The person next door might be like, no, I'm not the CEO of Home Depot. You just saw me there once. I don't know. You never know with Tyrese. Well, viewers, drop down into the conversations, get into the comments, get into the conversation with us. And
Tyrese be paying unemployment to the one that got fired for the case.
Yeah, at least hire him or something. A show assistant, since you want to be in there with your big mouth talking about everything. Okay, so we got a doozy for this last one. My sources are Yahoo Entertainment and Bravo Real Housewives of Atlanta after show. Now remind me, how many people watch Real Housewives of Atlanta on the call today?
I'm an on and
I
off
do.
kind of gal.
Okay, so Alicia, we got
not me.
2 honor and offers and a never. I do watch it, but you don't have to be too familiar with the show to have an opinion on this. I really wish Tyrese was here. She actually, after I saw the story,
right?
Yeah,
she said she does. Okay. After I saw this story, Tyrese actually texted me and was like, hey, did you hear about blah, blah, blah? We should talk about this. So I wish that Tyrese and Nicole were here to debate. Okay, so Atlanta Housewives, they had a break in filming, it seems like, during the holidays. I don't know if anybody else noticed. There was an episode where they were talking about what they were going to do with the holidays, and then next thing we know, they were into the new year. So they took a break in shooting for the holidays. During that time, Sheree Whitfield had a birthday dinner. So I think we have a picture of Sheree Whitfield with her man, her new boo, Martell.
What is that, velvet?
Ooh. So
Sorry.
yeah, got this little picture of them looking sharp and stuff like superheroes. During this filming break, Sheree decided to have a birthday dinner at Nobu over in Atlanta. Because this was not during filming, I guess she didn't feel obligated to invite the whole cast. So she only invited a couple ladies. She invited Cynthia, Marlo, Courtney, and Sonia. So we had a picture of Cynthia and Marlo up there. And then I think we have a picture of Courtney and Sonia. Yeah, so those are the people that are kind of Sheree's little clique right now. She invited them to her birthday dinner at Nobu, them with significant others, for those who have significant others. So the bill came to $1,500. And when the bill came, I guess Martell paid it, but he later sent the ladies a Cash App request for their portion of the bill. So, I guess the ladies went ahead and Cash Apped him, but people talk. So the rumors started getting spread around. And when the show picked up filming at like the next group event, Kenya had heard about it.
Oh,
so Kenya brought it to the table. It was like, I heard Martell Cash Apped everybody for their portion of dinner. There were some laughs had. But we go on to the Bravo after show where the Bravo after show, it looks like, I've never watched it, I've only seen clips. They break the ladies up into people that they're comfortable with, I guess. So Sonia, Sheree, and Marlo all do a little talk for the after show together. They film that together. And so in this episode, as they're watching this, they Sonia and Sheree, I don't know why that lady's names keeps escaping me. Sonia and Sheree get into a little argument during the after show. Sonia says, yeah, I thought Martell was going to pay for your birthday dinner. And Sheree kind of throws a dig and was like, why would you come to my birthday without a gift? She's like, anybody who comes to my birthday without a gift and you want your meal paid for? Like, what's that? So Sonia's like, I didn't have time to get you a gift. Like you text me last minute. So I didn't have time to get you a gift. And we've been in other situations where other men have paid for the whole party. She brings up Todd. She was like, about 8 of us went out and Todd paid for it, because Sheree then is like, well, Martell wasn't going to pay for that many people. And so Sonia's like, well, this has happened before. I did expect him to pay. So Marlo chimes in and she's like, well, you guys' relationship is new. Martell and Sheree's relationship is still new. They've been dating for about a year. So Sonia's like, okay, I didn't consider how new your relationship is, because Marlo was also like, Sheree, if you were still married to Bob is her ex-husband. Right. I'm sure Bob would have paid. And Sheree agreed, even though Kempire pointed out, like, girl, he ain't even paid you your alimony or whatever. So I don't think Bob would have paid. That's what Kempire said. But anyway, so yeah, Sonia originally thought that Martell should have paid the bill. This is a birthday dinner that they were invited to. Sheree was also pointing out that this was not a party, as opposed to like when you go to a party, of course, people are providing food. She was like, no, this was a dinner. You guys actually should have chipped in for my dinner because I'm the birthday girl. So what do you guys think? This is situation. I'm not exactly sure how many people were there, but like I said, there were 4 people from the cast member. Yeah, so it's probably about at least eight people. $1,500 bill. Birthday girl invited you. Do you think that she and her man should have paid, or would you have brought out your wallet when the bill came?
Go ahead.
Go, Joe.
That's a catch-22. It's a two-sided thing. One part of me is like, you have the money. So yeah, you could afford to do so, right? But there are instances too where I have been invited to an individual's birthday celebration, and we have all chipped in on the bill, and then had the individual not pay for anything because it was their
Birthday.
so I can understand her point and being like, okay, yeah, I wasn't expecting this. I don't care about the length of the relationship, or I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I mean, if anything, maybe it could have been kind of discussed more, brought somehow. I don't know.
Brought up before you cash at me after the fact.
Yeah, like yeah. Why did you wait? Like I don't know. To me that's a little déclassé. I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, and I'm trying to think of like, okay, and this may sound, you know, bad, haves and have-nots. As a have-not, you know, what we're going to do is, you know, although everyone chips in, make sure that the birthday person doesn't have to pay. And it's kind of known like you paying for your own stuff. But, you know, if a group of us are there, I don't think it's disrespectful to expect for the people's, you know, even though it's their birthday party, you know, to a birthday celebration or dinner or whatever, to kind of expect that. I guess as a have,
right,
you just thinking like, oh, you got it like that, so you pay for it, and you're so used to not having to do that because people always take care of you. Maybe the expectation is that, oh, your person must have you, because why should I have you? They have you, you know. So I think sometimes there's some sort of line between the expectations of people who always are taken care of as to people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
You know, so.
Michelle, were you gonna say something? Go ahead.
I think it boils down to the wording of the invitation.
Mm-hmm.
So if she had said, you know, or if the invitation came from the boyfriend, I know it didn't, but if he were to say, hey, we are all taking Sheree to celebrate her birthday, you know, it would be great if everybody pitched in to help pay for Sheree's dinner. If it's coming from her, which I think is what I heard, if she said, come to my party, then she kind of puts herself on the hook.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, because I mean, most people aren't orchestrating their own birthday dinners though. You know what I mean? So like, if I invite you all to a birthday dinner, I'm not gonna pay for y'all on my birthday. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
But Alicia, if you invited, let's say, that's why I'm saying the wording is very important. If if the invitation said, you know, we're celebrating me and my boyfriend is hosting at, a dinner at Nobu, the fact that her boyfriend is hosting, to me, signals
they are paying.
They're going to pay.
Okay. I doubt she said hosting though. I doubt she said that he had anything to do with it.
So
she said, go ahead.
So Sheree said, I'm not sure what the invitation said. It doesn't even sound like, it would sound like she just texted like, hey, do you want to go to dinner?
Thank you.
Because Sonia was like, I didn't realize it was going to be a dinner party. She was like, I just thought it was going to be like a double date. She thought she was going to bring her husband. She thought that Martell was going to be there.
So wait. On that note, if it's a double date, did you think that they were going to pay your own food? And I'm trying to figure out, so what is the expectation there if you thought it was a double date? Like,
yeah.
I personally, when I'm thinking about going out to dinner with a group of friends, whether it be to celebrate my birthday or something about me, whatever, I didn't think about anybody's wording. You just kind of,
you going out, have your money ready.
You make sure you have the
means. You make sure you have your dough. You going out to dinner regardless.
And Sheree's saying that part of Sheree's argument was that it's not a party. Like as they were arguing, she's like, you've seen me throw parties, I take care of you guys with parties. So her argument was, it's not a party. I invited you guys to dinner. You shouldn't have expected, especially because you came with your husband, you shouldn't have expected anyone to pay for you. I'm going to bring it back to one of Kenya's moments. This moment lives in my head, rent free, as the kids say. When Kenya and Drew were kind of going through it for Drew's first season, and they met up to have lunch or something, and Drew was trying to split the check.
Yeah, I remember.
It was like broke bitches split checks. So kind of going with what you said, Lava, the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
Today for me, being a have-not, living paycheck to paycheck, even if I was dating someone, he'd have to be very well off, but I'll go by people that I've dated in the past. I wouldn't expect my boyfriend to pick up the check for
Neither
that.
would I.
However, if I am a housewife and my boyfriend is also a TV personality, I feel like it's more about keeping up appearances, and they all throw dinners and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I could see where, because even when they first said that Martell sent the Cash App, I was like, what? Like you said, they class A. Like, what? Come on. He didn't pay for this. But that's me thinking they have money. They can pay for it.
The way to keep money is what keeping it, right? You don't see Bill Gates paying everybody's tab for everything. No, ma'am. So
actually, but you know what? Another thing
you're talking about, because you're rich, but hey, other households are there too, though. So you shouldn't worry about if my house.
That goes to Michelle's thing about the wording of the wording, right?
Well, and I also think that here's my thought. I don't know this to be true or not. They also did this when Housewives was not filming at all. There is no footage of this. So I'm thinking, if you have a party while Housewives is filming and you invite all the housewives, it's technically work. Mm-hmm. So maybe Bravo is picking up that check. Maybe it's the right. I don't know exactly how that works. I don't know. But I'm thinking that could have been it too, that they are used to being in these settings where they're kind of covered because this is part of work. And you got to keep up those appearances. And there was nothing there for them to keep up. Like, they probably didn't know that. Well, she should have known that everybody was going to talk about it.
They weren't born yesterday. They know those cameras were around. They know they didn't have to play up for the camera. Like, if you don't appreciate me as a friend to show up for my birthday party to try to, like Sheree said, you didn't even try to give me a gift at all. But yeah, you wanted my man to pay for your man, though. Like, at first I thought it was because it was all girls. You know how ladies are like, oh, a man should pay for all blah, blah. But another husband was there. The husband should have at least, Sonia's husband should at least went 50-50 with it as a man. If you want to go for all these.
Oh, not 50-50 for the whole bill. I wouldn't say 50-50 for the whole bill, but like.
But if you want to have not story. No, Marie, you can't change it now.
No, because
with this whole
I don't think I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the list of who was there and see who else may have had a date. I don't know. I don't know if Marlo brought her dude or that's what I'm saying. I'm like not 50-50. Like I'm not gonna pay for Sheree's. Like I wouldn't expect my man to pay for half of someone else's birthday dinner unless they are just like really my best friend or something like that.
But yeah, you expected Sheree's man to pay for everybody's full dinner, 100%. What kind of logic is this?
Because they put on
you are the back for school. No,
and that's what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying is like I know I'm being a hypocrite, but it's because that's the persona that they put up. I don't put up that persona. I'm not. Right. I don't think anybody will walk in anywhere with me and expect me to.
Well, I get what you're saying, Marina, but guess what? Sonia is a housewife too. So is her husband. So it's sort of
that's true. That's true.
Where are you? Your logic is going. Quicksand.
No, because if Sonia invited them to dinner, I would expect her to pay. And honestly, Sonia threw Sheree a birthday party the year before. So
anytime somebody invites you somewhere you expect them to pay, you ain't gonna get invited nowhere with me.
No, I mean, okay.
Well, girl, you don't invite me nowhere.
That's why, because I see how you think. I see how you think. You go digger.
Michelle, please jump in here, please.
No,
please.
I was just gonna qualify with what I said,
right?
Because listening to Marnita's explanation and understanding now that the other girl thought that it was a double date, then it's kind of ridiculous for them to now say, well, I thought your boyfriend was going to pick it up, because nobody goes on a double date and expects one person to pick up the whole tab.
So what one person invited them? According to Marina, if they suggested the double date, then
but it's still a double date.
If you're putting on like you're balling, that's my.
Thank you. They all do that. They all do that, Marina.
I know that, Alicia. I know that. That's what I'm saying. If Sonia invites Sheree somewhere, I wouldn't. Like if they showed Sonia pick up the check for inviting Sheree and Martell somewhere, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So vice versa. That's all I'm saying. It's just, it was shocking to me. I I admit that my logic does not make sense.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's
that,
we said from
like,
the beginning.
yeah.
It's a catch-22 type thing.
Yeah.
It is most definitely.
Exactly.
Because I don't think if I said to you, Marnita, oh, let's go have lunch, should you automatically make the assumption that I'm paying for you? Let's get to the check and let me say you.
Right.
You know, let's get to that.
I'm gonna be hopeful about it.
But you're gonna be hopeful, but you're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
be hopeful.
expecting.
But I'm gonna say, where are we going to lunch? And I'm gonna see if that's in my budget.
You. And be like, girl,
Let me ask y'all this.
Yes.
Okay. All of this could have been avoided if they had just gone to the yard house, because then at the yard house, you can pick what you pay for and pass it to the next person.
We just went to yard house,
Michelle. She said, go to the yard house.
Yes, they split the check. So Nobu, you need to get up on technology and split the check. Oh Lord, my set is coming apart. But Alicia, you had a question for us?
My angel did it for me by messing up your set. I'm kidding.
You see what kind of set
I hate her.
And you think I'm gonna buy you some Nobu?
No, I was just gonna say, let's get out of the housewives world. So for our world, because I am curious, because it has happened to me as well. Like, you know, where you go out with a group of friends, one person offers to pay, and it's like you feel like every time you go out, you have to offer to pay for the other person. Now it's a competition. So like,
right.
So just because if a female friend asks to hang out with you, do you is it in poor taste if they say when the waiter comes, can we get a split the bill, please? You know, or
not at my tax at the way my budget is set up. No, I've been doing that for years.
Okay. Because I've met some people too who are like, you know, they invite you out or invite me out, and then they pay. And if I invite them out next time, I'm like, I feel the pressure to like redo the favor. It's like, listen, you blessed me. God is telling me I don't have the funds to do it this time.
I will say, like, I'm with Alicia. It's like I have, certain friends that they have it like that, and so they will automatically say, "Don't worry about it, I got it." And again, just like you said, Alicia, sometimes, but I'm not under that guise. So wherever we're going, I'm always, I will always protest. No, I'll pay for my stuff once. No, I will pay for myself twice.
Okay.
You don't take it twice?
I don't take it
twice. Go on. Yeah, I mean, I can see, Alicia, where it does end up feeling pressured or like it's a competition. But if you feel pressure from somebody like that, then maybe they ain't your real friends. And yes, I know Sonia, Sheree, we'll see how that goes, because you know how these housewives align themselves with somebody, and then
most definitely,
even on this after show, Marlo and Sheree started ignoring Sonia and talking amongst themselves and left Sonia looking stupid. So the streets is saying Sonia is about to see the real them. So no, you should not feel pressured. If I invite you out and I get your coffee or something, it's because
Alicia, you allow coffee, all right?
And I think that the reciprocation should be somewhat equal. If I buy
coffee and a croissant,
I don't expect you to buy me a steak next time we go out.
Right.
Oh, well, that was a fun one, y'all.
You get a Starbucks egg bite. That's it.
Just one egg bite.
And not a what you call it? Not a grande.
Yeah.
Not a venti.
Yeah.
You get a grande and below.
Exactly. Well, that was a fun one, guys. Viewers, jump in. Let us know what you think of this whole bill conversation. Who should have put the bill? Do you take care of the bill for your friends when you go out? How does that work between you and your friends? Do you have it like that? Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. We're Date with the Divas on Facebook and Instagram. We're W the Divas on Twitter. And again, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Yes, X. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.